the elector story. Why not? Do you recall that we were talking about two electors, two presidential electors, or at the very least one, which we had quoted, who were already announcing prior to the election that they were going to be faithless. They were Democratic electors. They were already saying that we will refuse to vote for Hillary Clinton as an elector. And so we were talking, like, she's going to need 271 or 272. Didn't work out. Well, those same two Democratic members of the Electoral College have launched a campaign to get their fellow Republican electors to vote against Donald Trump or to vote for somebody else. They have dubbed moral electors, which is an attempt to persuade 37 of their Republican colleagues to bail on Trump, just enough to block his election and leave the final decision to the House of Representatives. They have the support of a third elector, Washington State one. I'm not clear if that's a Democratic or a Republican one. They intend to encourage Republican electors not to vote for Clinton, but to write in Mitt Romney or John Kasich. If enough agree, they would be sent to the House of Representatives, which would choose from among the top 3 vote getters. 37 assumes that Michigan will be in Trump's column. Michigan has not announced their final results yet. It appears that he's won, but it's not definitive. So assume that it's 37. Very hard to believe they're going to get 37 electors to do this. They don't all need to come from one state or 2 states or whatnot, but there's no reason not to push it in my estimation. People have written to me on Twitter like, this would create an incredible amount of violence. Well, I guess what? I think his election will too. And has, but I think it's going to get. I think we're at the beginning of some really nasty crap, and an attempt like this, even a failed one, furthers the narrative that Trump is a weak president, that he does not have the support of the American public, no matter how you quantify it. I mean, certainly we know that Hillary Clinton will receive at least 1 million more votes than him in this election. At least 1 million more popular votes. So we know where the majority of the American people are. Trust me on this. This is the majority report. And I'm not talking that he failed to get a plurality. In other words, it's not just that more people voted against him than voted for him. It's that more people voted specifically for a different person than him. And that's an important thing to keep in mind. Particularly when, you're putting your kids to bed at night and you want to convince them that, the majority of the country, and more than the majority of the country, disagrees with this guy and his policies. And so if you get one of those emails, or you go, I would Google, and we'll try and find it, moral electors, get people to support it. Can't hurt. It cannot hurt. At this point, we're grasping for straws.
But it is important, though. I agree. I mean, there's a secondary value to it. This is part of denormalizing, delegitimizing, always being on the offensive. There's no time to give him a chance or any of this nonsense. It needs to be aggressive from the beginning.
Hey, it's Sam Seder. Why don't you subscribe to this channel? You can do so right over here. Subscribe.